Hi, my name is Alexandra and welcome to my channel. I'm a certified family constellations therapist and the founder of the Family Code, the place where I help you to grow healthy relationships, be it in a couple, be it in a family, be it with friends, be it at workplaces. And today the topic of this video is what kills polarity between man and woman. Polarity can mean sexual attraction, mutual respect, being together and being good together. And this polarity is something that I think this is intangible, of course, but I think you can feel it if you're a man or a woman, this kind of attraction, the things that from a woman's perspective makes you admire this man, and from a male perspective makes you value the things or the qualities that makes you value this woman as your partner, as your wife, or as your girlfriend. So let's dive deep in. And first I would like to open with a quote by Bert Hellinger, who said that in order to for polarity to work between a man and a woman, a man must renew and support within himself that what is masculine, and a woman must renew and support within herself that what is feminine. So of course now you maybe have on your mind this picture of yin and yang. What does this mean? Especially in contemporary times, when you see that both men and women earn money, they work, they have full-time jobs. How not to lose this polarity? Because very often I see from myself, from my clients, from the people with whom I work, that women are exhausted. They are exhausted because they need to handle a 100% job. Then after work, they have a household to handle. And what if the man is not supportive of, let's say, cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, going to the supermarket to get food, and some other things that we need to take care of while running a household? I will also mention about the 50-50 dynamic that some people support, especially some men, that they say, okay, now you, dear woman, you are working, you are earning money, so why don't you contribute also to the household financially by splitting the rent, splitting the bills, paying the bills 50-50. And I must tell you now straight ahead that every relationship must be based on the balance of giving and taking. And what a woman can give and what a man can give are two things that are different in nature, and it is due to our biology, okay? So there are certain things and facts that we cannot argue about. So women give birth. They endure pregnancy, pregnancy changes their bodies, they cannot work while pregnant or straight after delivery of the baby. They have monthly periods, something that men would never get, okay? So women biologically function a bit differently than men. Men are stronger, physically stronger, able to protect. They don't have the days when they are impacted by our hormones like we women, especially, for example, during our menstruation or pregnancy. So they operate on a kind of a different dynamic, different level. Women operate more on a kind of a cyclical nature, like we need some more pauses to work, to regain our strength. Men are more like action, 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 are executors, while we women, we are also good managers and executors, but we need our pauses to rest. Polarity can be also the sexual attraction. And now my question to you. Polarity, okay, we told about that man needs to kind of support within himself that what is masculine. So my question for you is, okay, what is masculine? If you're watching this and you're a man, what kind of behaviors are masculine? Because nowadays I think masculinity kind of lost a bit, especially that women are working, they can pay their lives, they can have their lives because they are earning money, they can go on vacations, they can pay the rent. So what you as a man can offer to a woman that she would like to get from you, for example. And here we need to take into consideration that, of course, we women, what I can ask myself the same question, what I as a woman can offer to my man. And what we can offer is never gonna be 50-50, because biologically we are different, and it's a fact. And relationship is not about 50-50. Relationship is about two people coming together to give their 100%, okay? And to exchange, to create the balance in giving and taking. But the balance in giving and taking, this is actually what kills polarity if it's not balanced. So let's say the balance of giving and taking is not a situation when you invite your girlfriend out, you pay for a dinner in Zurich, let's say 300 francs because you ate meat, which is super expensive in Switzerland, by the way. And then you expect that she would invite you out in the next week or in the next week and would pay approximately similar amount of money. This is imbalance. This is not the true version of balance, because some women would not be able to do that because, first of all, maybe they have a job in which they earn much less than you earn. Maybe they could return the pleasure, the favor, the nice treatment over a dinner in another way by, for example, cleaning the flat, baking a cake, doing something nice for you. So you have to remember that the exchange does not need to be one-to-one, because what kind of exchange can we women expect when we are pregnant? We cannot expect that, okay, now I expect you next year, you will be pregnant and you will birth a child, and go through the birth process and the pain and everything and the body that changes physically as well. It's impossible. So we need to first figure out what is masculinity, what is femininity, and these two things are, fortunately or unfortunately for you, tied with the biological roles of men and women. And I know that this is a very controversial subject, but you need to be aware that women are biologically fit to do better these things, and men are more biologically fit to do other things. For example, usually men earn more, they are leaders, and they are highly competitive in their companies, at work, want to develop, want to build the world, want to create the structure, earn money. And we women, we are more into relationships, creating a family, managing the household, also having a job, of course, why not? But the balance needs to be kept in order for the polarity to work. For example, and now I will speak from my personal experience. I feel I am a woman, and of course, when my man invites me out or does something nice to me or offers to pay the rent or anything, my conscience will tell me, because I will feel this is a sign of love for me, and I will feel amazing, beautiful, I will feel in love, I would feel respected, and then I would feel, my conscience would feel, I want to give back to him because he loves me so much, he takes care, he puts effort, he puts attention, he puts money. I also want to put something from me, and I give it straight from the bottom of my heart. But again, this does not mean that I need to split the bill next time with him 50-50 in a restaurant, because I as a woman can give in many other ways, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about here. All right, then I would like to also tell you a little bit about marriage, how to function in a marriage, in a relationship. so that there is this balance in giving and taking, there is a polarity, there is mutual sexual attraction and respect. Usually this happens when women are women, and as Bert Hellinger said, men are men. And nowadays, unfortunately, these dynamics are not kept because men, they somehow lost their masculinity. They ask women to split the bills, they allow themselves to be invited for dinner so that the woman pays. They are kind of, they lost the kind of a balance in figuring out what feels manly and masculine and what does not feel manly. And of course, women also lost balance. They are not saint either. Women became much more masculine, especially due to the fact that we need to go to the workforce, we need to work, support each support ourselves financially, especially if we are single. There is no other way. You need to work, you need to have a roof above your head, you need to eat something. So then we developed ourselves, we went into the men's world, and we are earning. And of course, this is good. I'm not saying this is bad. But these dynamics, they changed because of these circumstances. And women now also became competitive. They exhibit masculine behaviors. Very often women say, yeah, I will pay your mortgage. If you live with your boyfriend and you pay his mortgage while you are not the co-owner of the mortgage or the property, you kind of you act because you're like this because you are trying to prove that you can also pay, you are as good as he is. But again, this is failure because you shoot yourself in the foot by trying to prove something. And it's not about financial equality because it's never gonna be equal, remember, neither biologically nor financially. It's about creating a couple, a marriage, a relationship, like creating a company where two founders, where two leaders come together, okay? One brings money, assets, finances to open up the company, and the other brings vision, stability, management, for example, household management and other skills, and they both cooperate together. There is a rotation of responsibility. If in your relationship, for example, your man earns much more than you, maybe you stay at home with kids, maybe you cook, maybe you split in another way. Maybe if your man earns less than you, then you arrange it differently. But you have to make sure that the balance of powers is more or less equal, and it's about giving and taking. And it's not only about money, because remember, my dear man, a woman can give you also stuff that is not material. For example, support for you, emotional support for you, emotional support for the children or your children, especially when they are not her children. Women have many other talents, skills and capabilities than just being able to pay 50-50. Because paying 50-50, in my opinion, and please, if you disagree, you're free to do it. Write me in the comment. I will look at it. This kills the polarity. Because if you pay 50-50, you are not polar anymore. Do you understand what I mean? You're not in polarity. Because I can give you something that you cannot give me, and you can give me something that I cannot give you. Polarity is about respecting each other in this balance, biological balance, that we are different and we are able to share the differences, to manage them, and to give what everybody can give, what is best. And of course, as maybe last words from me for you in this video, is appreciation. So often we forget to appreciate and acknowledge. For example, if your man is paying the rent, although you could have contributed to paying it, but he says, no, I will pay, I want to guarantee the safe space, security for you, you can pay for food or for any other thing. It's essential to acknowledge and appreciate it. The same, you dear man, if your woman is cooking, cleaning, raising your mutual children, which takes a lot of management while you sit at work. She's doing also work, and sometimes this work is even more exhaustive than your work at your company. Appreciate it. Acknowledge it. When both parties acknowledge their mutual efforts, the relationship has high chances of success, and the balance is there, because the balance was never about doing the same thing, paying the same amount of money, giving birth both men and women, which is impossible. The balance you also feel in your heart, in your conscience. If someone gives something to you, it's a natural way to reciprocate and to give what you can give. Okay? So I hope this short video of polarity, relationships, balance of giving and taking, the 50-50 attitude will make you think a bit about where we are currently in this contemporary world as men and women. What is masculinity? What is femininity? How to build together something that will endure. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.